All right, so today we got a foam core review day. We got in a bunch of blue cores. We've been testing them out compared to some of the older foam cores on the market. We got a bunch of different shapes and sizes of the blue core. So let's have at it. All right, go ahead and put this one down. You can hold on to that. All right, so we got our tried and true Trufoams that we've been using for a while, along with the 008. So I'll be comparing them with a bunch of those. So let me stick these to the side for now and go through what we got on the new blue core. So these are Diadem's newest blue core. They come in kind of similar to Selkirk, where they have a number of different sizes and shapes. One of the things that I was a little bit hard to take a look at right off the bat was, man, there's so many variants. There's a 14 millimeter thickness, there's a 16 millimeter thickness, and then there's a 19 millimeter thickness, and they come in three different shapes. So there's the max shape, the pro shape, which is an elongated paddle, this wide body, and then there's also a standard, which is not a standard, but it's like a hybrid shape. So it's like kind of like an Invikta, and then the pro is like the Invikta. This is kind of like a Trufoam 3, and then this is kind of a wide body, kind of like an Epic or a TF2. Let me compare the sizes for those, so you kind of know what you're getting yourself into if you're looking at them. So profile side by side, it's a bit shorter than a TF2, but the face is also smaller. So look at that. So you got a smaller face on the blue core max, and then a shorter handle too. So that's gonna like drastically bring down your sweet spot here. So it's like a bit different there. So that's kind of the one things. I'll talk about the gameplay in a second. I'll just go through the different sizes and comparisons to the other paddles. So that's the kind of the max shape. Let me throw in the Epic as well for comparison here, all three. So the Epic is same height as the Trufoam, and then the handles. Epic is similar to the TF2, and then a slightly shorter handle for the Diadem. So if the Diadem had a longer handle, they'd be kind of similar. The face is a little bit wider, but you lose a little bit of handle space at the bottom right here. So it's kind of their wide body shape. Then we have the standard, which let me grab the Invikta to give it side by side comparison. So their standard is, let me throw the pro in here too as well. So the middle is the standard, the side is the pro. Yeah, the heights are a tad shorter on the blue cores, and then let's see, the faces, I would say, actually I'd line them up this way. So the Invikta is kind of right in the middle, where this has the longest. So the standard has the longest face, meaning a slightly smaller handle. The Invicta's right in the middle, and then their pro shape is a slightly smaller face, which I'd say is probably similar to a TF1. Let me stack that up over here. Yeah, so TF1 actually has a slightly that's why I have a slice cap on the bottom of this, but the face is similar to like a TF1. So it's kind of how they stack up. And so that's kind of the body shapes there, between their standard versus standard versus pro shape. And then last we have, are you making funny faces? All right. So last we have the thicknesses. So carbon comes in at the 14 millimeter, which is similar to the thinnest shape of Diadem, which is the 14. And then we have the 16, which is comparable to the 16 millimeter of Selkirk's here. So we got a Tour, which is similar to their 16 side by side. But the edge guard on a 008 makes it feel a little bit thicker than kind of the more integrated edge guard of the Blucore. So that's kind of something that's more unique for the new Blucores, is they actually like form, like in the process of building it, they form an edge guard around that's a little bit softer of a foam. So it's like think about like a durable, not like a styrofoam. It's a lot more like durable than that. I'm not going to be able to like break it off very easily, but kind of a little squishy. So, I mean, hopefully that should help your paddle from getting damaged if you accidentally like scrape it against the ground while playing. So I kind of like that aspect of it. And then let me talk about next about kind of the grit. So you have a single piece edge guard around the whole thing. The grit is, yeah, a little bit grittier than the 008, and then compare it to the Trufoam. Yeah, more. So I would say the Trufoam is the smoothest of the three, and then followed by the 008, and then the face of the Blucore feels the grittiest, but it's like a really fine mesh like weave that it has. So I felt like it was a decent amount of spin on it. And so let me just talk a little bit about the gameplay of the various paddles. So I got all of them across the board, the 14, 16, and 19. And I guess right off the bat, one thing that I did notice is, like, so comparing the three, the Trufoam, I felt like it hit the hardest out of all of them. The Selkirk 008 was, yeah, a controlled paddle, but I feel the Blucore was similar to the 008, where it was definitely a more control oriented paddle. And so I think the standard that people will take a look at is probably the 16 standard or pro, and that one was decent. The 14s, when I tried that, I tried the 14 Max, because for me, I personally prefer a wide body shapes, and so the wide body shape, I felt like on the 14 didn't have enough plow through. It probably needed a lot more lead, and so the one that I actually personally preferred the most was, where did it go? The 19 Max. I mean, it's definitely not a super hard hitting paddle, but I would compare this kind of to like the 008 Maxima. I mean, it's a get everything in type paddle, resets, returns, all of that. So, I mean, I wasn't playing as aggressive with it, and I feel like that's kind of the play style that you're going to get a little bit more with the Diadem Blucores. It's going to be a very controlled paddle. It doesn't fly off the face like a Eula. It doesn't have that trampoline, and it had, yeah, pretty good resets. The 14, like, so kind of going between the spectrum. 14, yeah, it wasn't as hard hitting as I probably would have wanted it to be. So comparing, let's see, the Invikta to the Blucore 14, I mean, they play similarly. The stability I felt like was better on the 008 compared to the same thickness going with the Blucore. So overall, I mean, I like the 19 shape. It is really, really thick. So it like combines the thickness of the new Luxx with kind of the control of the 008. So who knows? Maybe Selkirk might decide to go with a thicker 008 paddle than their current Maxima 008, which is 16 millimeters. So if they come out with that, it's kind of similar to this. I felt like this hit a little bit harder than the 008, even though it was 19 millimeters. Maybe it had a little bit more plow through, but yeah, just overall my takes were the 14s needed a fair amount of weight to kind of get them up there in weight to hit a little bit more stable. So the one thing I liked about the 19s was it did have a pretty high like stability, like twist weight. So that was nice. I think the 14 Pros came in pretty low, kind of similar to the 007, like 10 millimeter. So definitely needs a lot of twist weight or weight added to kind of help with the stability and the twist weight. So my take overall, I mean, if you're going for a 008 versus a Diadem Blucore, I mean, unless you really want a 19 millimeter control paddle, like I kind of like the lineups of the 008s a little bit better. Of all of them, I actually like the 19 for the Blucore. The 14 and the 16, they're kind of decent, but felt like I needed a lot more weight than probably the 008s would need. But they just coming out with these, so playing around with them, kind of nice. The other option is, I mean, Selkirk has their new Infinigrit out. That one's supposed to last a lot longer. Kind of let me see the gameplay of these. I mean, foam core is supposed to be kind of the new technology. Infinigrit is nice because you got the new like face surface, which should last 3 times as much. So let me know what you guys think. If you want any more analysis between any of the particular paddle shapes or sizes, and more than happy to review through those. And if you want discount codes on the Selkirks, yeah, check out my bio. But yeah, those are the paddle lineups here. Again, I'll just show what we got again. We got 008s, we got some Blucores, the Infinigrit, and then the Carbon here. So check them out.
Bye.